All right, what's going on, guys? Happy New Year. Happy 2025. We are back with another new video. And in this video, I really just wanted to go over some of my favorite projects from last year because I think it's super important to see the progress that I've made as an artist, but I also think it's very important for every artist to make a video like this. You don't really realize how much your eye changes and how much different your work is from January to December. And it's actually pretty insane the amount of just different things that I ended up shooting towards the end of the year versus the beginning of the year. And that's not to say I like shooting one thing better than the other, but it's just very interesting to me how you start to gravitate towards different things when you're feeling inspired. So that being said, I do feel like the 2024 was the year that I grew the most as an artist, and that is why I really wanted to make this video, just to showcase to you guys the growth that I did make. Also just to showcase to you guys some of my commercial photography, because I don't really get the chance to make videos about that because it's so run and gun, or the client doesn't really want BTS or X, Y, and Z. You know, there's a lot of reasons for that, but I think it's really important to show you guys the commercial photography that I'm doing as well, just in case if you have any questions or you're just curious on what other photos that I do shoot throughout the year. And as we go through every project, I'm just going to summarize it. Basically, I'm just going to tell you guys like who, what, or why. So with that being said, let's hop right into the video. We're going to start with the month of January. Right out the gate, my first gig was working with David Kushner. I was flown out to Nashville and I was hired to shoot some behind the scenes style photography while trying to get cover art in the mix of everything. But towards the end of the shoot, we cut out time to actually get the cover photo, and that is the photo that ended up making it as the Skin and Bones cover art. So right out the gate, that was a super exciting project to start the year off with. And I'll show you guys just some more photos from this project. So I feel like these photos give a really good feeling of the song and how it feels and sounds. So to me, I felt really good about this project. And this was actually my first billboard. So you'll see in these photos that my photo is actually out on a billboard in Nashville. So this is really a great project to start the year off. It just showed me a lot of proof and like affirmation that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So thank you to David and his team for making this opportunity happen. The next project we have here was shooting on film with my friend Queenie. This was actually really me experimenting with my film camera because I just brought it back from Indiana when I went a couple months before this. So I really just wanted to kind of get the dust off the camera and go and shoot and try it out. And funny enough, this was with my Canon EOS 630, which I tell you guys about in all my videos because it's just such a sick camera for the price that it is, and you can put the EF lenses on it if you have any from Canon. So this was basically my first shoot with my Canon EOS 630 here in LA. I loaded up some Ektar 100 for this shoot. It actually turned out really cool, and I love how Ektar actually captured the red of this shoot. So this was my first 35mm Portra session of the year, and I'm so glad that I did it in January because it really kicked off kind of the rest of the year for me. But yeah, shout out Queenie for being down to shoot these. I love these photos. All right, so this next project is again me shooting some film photography on the Canon EOS 630, but this was actually for my girlfriend's birthday. She wanted to do something that felt iconic and true to her, and she loves the color pink. So she got this super sick all pink outfit, and we really just wanted to get her a birthday post and just get some creative photos for anything that she needs in the future. So this photo shoot we actually shot with a mix of film. We shot it on Cinestill 400D, a little bit of Ektar 100, and the third film stock we shot on was a little bit of Portra 400. And to finish out January, I ended up shooting a music video for my buddy Isaac for a song called Jet Lag. And I want to show you guys some of these photos that we shot on the set. These are photos that I managed to get in between shooting video, and I just thought they turned out super cool. And it was definitely just a great way to end the month. All right, so let's talk about the projects that I did in February. So February was a really cool month to me because we got the opportunity to go out to Hawaii. I went out there with my friends at Country Night. They DJ country music. So they had a gig out there and they brought me for the entire project. And honestly, I just ripped, I think 12 rolls of Ektar 100. I just love Ektar 100, especially in a point and shoot. I think it looks so good. And I just think it looks so cool. It definitely complements Hawaii's colors and atmosphere. And yeah, I just love the opportunity. So shout out Country Night. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, this was just an epic trip for me, for real. So the next project of February was shooting photos for a brand called Pedego. They're an e-bike company. They make super awesome products, and I was actually super honored to come and shoot some photos for them. We did a couple themes where we did some outdoor like kind of hiking themes, and then we did like kind of an older couple, basically just to showcase that these bikes can be universal and made for everybody. And yeah, I'm just really stoked on how these photos came out. This is more of the commercial work that I shoot that I don't really get to make videos about on my YouTube channel. Hopefully that might change here in the future, but I just want you guys to also know that I do commercial photography. And if you have any questions about commercial photography, feel free to ask me. I don't just shoot film. I love shooting film. It is fun to make videos about it, but I also love shooting commercial photography. All right, so let's talk about March. March for me was kind of a slower month, and that's totally okay. There are months when you freelance and they're a little bit more slow, and this was just me trying to fill the month in with some passion projects. So this was me shooting some photos of my friend Drew, and we ended up shooting this whole thing on Cinestill 800T because I really wanted to shoot at night and I wanted to get that halation that film stock provides. And I think this was like my second or third shoot with my EOS 630, so this is really me just getting my reps in with this film camera, and I'm actually really stoked on how these photos came out. And that was kind of all that I wanted to showcase for March. I do believe I shot a couple of events throughout that month. That's not really something that I want to showcase, so let's move on to the month of April. Okay, so April was a huge month for me. April was the month that I started doing YouTube, and I uploaded my first video where I did this editorial with Caleb, and this is also the first time that I worked with Will, who you guys see on the channel often, for styling. And this is the shoot that got me kind of hooked on the look and the feeling of it. So shout out to Caleb and shout out to Will for being down to just create some stuff with me, because this shoot really did a lot for me, and I'm so glad we did it. I know you guys have seen this shoot before, but most of it is shot on Portra 400. We did have a little bit of Ektar 100 towards the beginning because I was just trying to kill the roll, but most of it is shot on Portra 400, and I honestly just couldn't be more stoked on these photos. They're still in my portfolio. They probably always will be. This is just such an iconic shoot for something that I wanted to begin doing. So also in April, I got the opportunity to shoot with my friends at Earthlings Vip. They are a clothing brand. You've probably seen multiple different celebrities wearing their stuff. They definitely get around, and they are just a very incredible team of creative people, all good energy, all good vibes, and their clothing just says it all. And I feel like this shoot kind of helped me also niche into more of the fashion direction that I'm taking. So this was overall just a really great shoot for me to be a part of, and shout out to Earthlings for bringing me on. Alright, so now let's talk about the month of May. May was an incredible month. I think I filmed 3 YouTube videos that month, and I think I did 3 projects that month that I really want to showcase to you guys. The first project that I want to talk about is this editorial shoot that I did with my buddy Jonathan. You guys will recognize by the hat that this shoot was just us trying to create something different and something that just felt very unique. Jonathan had this hat, and I believe it is a piece by Heaven by Marc Jacobs. So it was really cool to just kind of start shooting some more fashion stuff. Jonathan is an incredible model. You guys definitely need to tap in with him this year, but I'm very honored that he wanted to shoot some stuff with me, and this photo shoot was just us going out and experimenting. And the next project that I want to talk about for the month of May was shooting for Soul House. They are an artist group that makes really just good vibe music, and it's my buddy Landry's band. And Landry's actually from Indiana, so funny enough, we actually connected out here in LA. Because of where you're from, that always tends to come back to you. So Landry hired me to shoot some photos. I shot them all on film, and he really just trusted me with the process. He wanted me to just shoot only film, so I shot 35mm and I shot medium format for this shoot. We ended up shooting some Lomography 800 during this shoot towards the end of it, and we also ended up shooting some Portra 400 for the rest, I believe. So yeah, overall this project was super fun. Thank you, Landry, for bringing me on. Shout out to Soul House, and yeah, hopefully we can do more work together in the future. All right, so the next project that I want to talk about for May was shooting this at-home studio session with Queenie. So this was actually for a backdrop company called Kate Backdrops, who I work with often. And yeah, I basically just wanted to shoot some portraits of my friend inside. So for this shoot, we shot on Portra 400 for all of it. I shot a little bit of 120 and mostly 35mm. And this shoot was just to get creative. I have a video about it on my YouTube channel. And yeah, we just wanted to create some content for Kate Backdrops. So, and shout out to Queenie again for coming through and being willing to just shoot and model for me whenever I need it. All right, so let's talk about the projects that I did in June. All right, so for the first project that I want to talk about here, this was a really cool project because I got to work with my buddy Isaac again, and we were shooting these photos for potential cover art for the drop of a song that he did with his cousins Mofe and Telly. And basically I just shot all this on medium format 120, and I believe I shot it on Portra 400. They had a house up in Hollywood Hills rented out, so we just went around and shot some photos around the location, and I'm really pleased with how they turned out. So shout out to the boys for bringing me on this project. Love shooting these photos. It's always a good time to just hang and create. So for the next project that I want to talk about in June was another shoot with Pedego. And believe it or not, they liked my stuff so much the first time that they wanted me to come back and do the same thing. So for this shoot, I believe this was their summer release, so they wanted to get some more like summer feeling photos. I feel like you can kind of feel that in the photos that we took. But yeah, again, this is more of my commercial photography that I just wanted to showcase to you guys. And yeah, shout out to Pedego for bringing me on again. Love these photos. They're definitely a portfolio piece for me. And yeah, just super stoked I was able to come and bring this project to life. This whole year I've spent a lot of time figuring out how to grow my YouTube channel, because YouTube is something that I believe just has true longevity to it. And I really feel like I couldn't grow on YouTube the way that I wanted to if it wasn't for today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. Since I've been on Skillshare, I've been taking this class called YouTube Success by Marquise Brownlee. It's given me so much insight on actually how to script my videos, and also just how to film videos in a more interesting way. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry experts all across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and so much more. Skillshare can really help take your career, your hobbies, your skills, your passions, or side hustles to the next level. If you're ready to learn and grow in your business, then Skillshare is honestly the place for you. The first 500 people to use my link will get 1 month free of Skillshare. The link is down in the description box below, and thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Alright, so let's talk about the projects that I did in July. So July, we started off with shooting some cover artwork for my friends in Beauty School Dropout. They are a punk band. They make incredible music, and better yet, they're all just really incredible dudes. And this single specifically was coming out with Mod Sun, so we got the chance to go and shoot at a location. Yeah, I actually shot this on R5, and we just made it look kind of gritty and grainy. I think this photo just really represents the song, and I couldn't be more stoked on how this photo came out. And shout out to the guys at Beauty School Dropout and Mod Sun for allowing me to come and create this photo and bring it to life. In this next project, I want to talk to you guys about the shoot that I did with Edwin, which is also a YouTube video on the channel already. But we shot this on Kodak Gold 200, and this was me trying Kodak Gold 200 for the first time on 120. Honestly, if you're trying to just shoot film on a budget, Kodak Gold 200 is actually really incredible. But yeah, this shoot was just to go out and get creative. I've known Edwin for a while just through mutual friends and stuff, and he is an incredible artist himself. So we wanted to go out and just shoot some photos. And shout out to Edwin for just collabing on this photo shoot. This is a super sick project, and if you guys haven't seen the video yet, I'll leave a little link above here. You can check it out. Okay, so the next shoot is the stylist video that I made on my YouTube channel already, but I wanted to show you guys these photos again because I just feel like this is one of my favorite projects of the year. This project was to showcase my photography, it was to showcase how these guys model, and it was also to showcase how Will styles his clothing. So I found that because this shoot had a lot of reasoning and purpose behind it, it ended up being one of my favorites for the year. I shot all of these photos on Portra 400, a little bit of 35mm, and a lot of 120 medium format. So shout out to Will, Caleb, and Zach for making this shoot happen with me, and couldn't be more stoked on these photos. Okay, so the last project of July that I wanted to mention on here was shooting for a live stream show where they had guest celebrities come on, and I actually got the chance to meet and shoot photos of Swae Lee, Dolla, The Game, a bunch of other artists. So this was just a really cool opportunity for me. I also wanted to mention that Swae Lee was just a really good dude, and he had great energy, so it made kind of taking photos a little bit easier of him. And yeah, I'm just stoked on these photos, stoked on the project. So let's talk about the projects that I did in August. As you can imagine, about this time of year, I'm starting to feel kind of a little bit of a burnout. I've been go. I really needed to escape, so I wanted to go out to Colorado. That's usually where I go to escape. And I just wanted to get out of LA for a little bit, breathe some fresh air, see some elk that you'll see in some of these photos. But with that being said, I just wanted to show you guys some of the photos that I took in Colorado. Some on my point and shoot, and some were taken on my R5. So hopefully you guys love some of these photos. I know it's definitely not what I usually post, but I also wanted to showcase the other types of photography that I love doing as well, which is a lot of landscape and nature photography when I'm in the position to be shooting it. So as soon as I got back from Colorado, I was super fired up to get a shoot going. So I hit up my buddy Isaac, and we went out and shot some photos on medium format, and we shot some photos on 35mm. All of the 35mm was shot on Portra 400, and the medium format shots were shot on Ektar 100. I'll leave a link up here so you guys can check out that video, but it was basically about teaching people how to pose people. It's a really good video to check out if you kind of struggle with posing people and keeping the photo shoot natural. So definitely check out that video, and shout out to Isaac again for making this shoot possible. All right, so for the next shoot of August, I wanted to mention this one. I didn't get a lot of video footage. Peso is a German-based fashion brand who I work with often, especially when they come out here to LA, and they wanted to shoot some of the things that they were restocking, so we made a photo shoot happen out here in LA. Here's some of the images. I just want to preface that I did not edit these. Peso had somebody edit them, but I do love the composition in the shots, and overall I'm just super stoked on how the project turned out. All right, so let's talk about the projects that I did in September. September was also a busy month, and I loved this month because I felt kind of at my most creative, and I think you'll see it in the shoots that I'm going to mention. The first shoot that I did was a shoot with my friend Deshaun. I also have a video about this shoot. I was out with some friends a couple weeks before I did this shoot, and I saw a bus stop that I really wanted to shoot at, and Deshaun was down, so we went ahead and shot some photos on Cinestill 800T at the bus stop at night, and we ended up getting some really unique shots. So I couldn't be more happy on how these turned out, and shout out to Deshaun for making this shoot possible. So another project that I did in September was for a company called For Those Who Sin, who's actually one of my clients. They're an incredible jewelry brand based here in LA. And we wanted to shoot for his latest collection, which he called it the Blade Collection. And I think you could see why in these photos. But it's so cool because I was able to hire out Caleb for this shoot. Always try to get your homies hired, and we were able to create some of these really cool images. These are definitely good portfolio pieces for me as well. Couldn't be more stoked on these, and shout out to For Those Who Sin for bringing me on to shoot these photos. And the next project that I want to talk about for September is the infamous Nike photo shoot. And the reason why I say it's the infamous Nike shoe is because I've been posting about it so much. Basically, I got the opportunity to shoot for Nike and they wanted it all shot on film. So I shot my buddy Will. This is basically a project about him and a documentary about him. So they reached out to me to come and shoot some photos on set and use them for the edit, which it did end up making it in the edit. And you'll see it at the end of the video that I've already posted about the Nike shoot. So make sure you guys check it out. I'll leave the link up here. And that is the shoot that I ended September with. All right, so let's talk about the projects that I did in October. I feel like there's really only one shoot that I kind of want to showcase to you guys. This is another shoot that I did for Those Who Sin, but these photos are honestly some of my favorite that I shot throughout the whole year. I just love how we lit this project to have the cowboy silhouette in most of these shots that you see. This is my first time doing lighting like this, and I actually felt that it really elevated the look of the work, and I'm so glad we decided to do it this way. I also love some of the blue background and kind of more of the blue jean style photos that we did a little bit later in the shoot, and I'm super stoked on how this project turned out. Okay, so now let's talk about the projects that I did in November. November was a pretty busy month, and you'll see on my YouTube channel that I did a project with my buddy Lalo and my buddy Will. Will styled it all, and Lalo modeled for it. And we really just wanted to go out and shoot some photos to showcase, again, Will's styling. And also I wanted to make a review on Kodak Ultramax 400. So I'll leave a link up here again for the video. Make sure you guys check those out later when you have time. But I definitely loved how these photos came out. So for the second project that I shot in November, this was a Monster Energy photo shoot, and it's usually through my buddy Morgan. So the point of this shoot is basically to highlight things that you would do after you drink a Java Monster, which is caffeinated. So for this theme, we decided to go out and rip some photos on his dirt bike and do some donuts in a dry dirt area during golden hour, and you'll see in some of these photos, it actually turned out super epic. It is still cool to showcase to you guys some of the commercial photography that I do. All right, and the last shoot that I did in November, this one was a super epic trip. You guys let me know if you think I should make a vlog about it. I did film it all because I basically flew out to Denver, Colorado and drove straight to Moab, Utah. And I hid in a bush for like an hour and a half to wait for my best friend to get engaged. And I had to hide there with a 100 to 400 lens. But this whole trip was just super hilarious and super important for my best friends too. So let me know if you guys want to see a whole video about it. I'll definitely make one and post it. Anyway, here's some of the photos that I shot of them after they got engaged. Running around Utah and just getting some of these epic shots during golden hour was definitely one of the highlights of my year. Okay, so let's talk about the projects that I did in December. All right, so starting off, the first project that I did in December was another shoot for Those Who Sin. We had this incredible opportunity to shoot with this old Jaguar. So we really just got some cool shots of the jewelry in that setting around the Jaguar. And I ended up using one of my strobes off camera to shoot most of these photos. And honestly couldn't be more stoked on how these photos turned out, especially for the time frame that we had. And basically my last shoot of the year was shooting the Portra 400 review video. I shot that with my friend Zach, so shout out to Zach. Will also came through and styled. And yeah, we just got another video in before the year ended. It was super cool to do the Portra 400 review, and I'll definitely leave a link above here so you guys can go and check out that video. And that concludes all the photo shoots that I wanted to show to you guys for 2024. I definitely plan on making a video like this every year just to showcase the projects that I work on. I think it's just great to make these videos and also show the growth that I've made throughout the year. 2024 was a huge year because I really just found my artistic vision. Let's just crush this year. I really feel like this is the year that you need to be acting on the creative ideas that you have. Write them down and make a plan to just get them done. Don't waste a lot of time. Don't ask for other people's opinions, because all that matters is that you trust the creative intuition that is embedded into your body, into your mind and your heart. Those creative thoughts have gotten me this far, and I only tend on following them more this year. So hopefully you guys stick around and see the growth that I'll make in another year. Let me know if there's anything that I can help you guys with. Also, let me know what favorite photo shoot you guys had of mine this year. So I'll see you guys next week with another video. I have another film review coming out, and yeah, that concludes this video. Hopefully I see you guys more in 2025. Peace.